Jake Morrison, the ship's captain, stood at the window and gazed down onto the planet that was once Terranova. Appeared to be a massive lump of coal floating in space, and 3 months after the death, black smoke continued to rise from the dead world. Attack: 12 million people had resided there, including men, women, children, families, and new construction. Life on the newest colony planet for humanity. Now that all was ash, Jake closed his eyes and recalled On the day of the announcement, he was having breakfast with his crew when Terranova received the emergency communication. Burning after an unexpected invasion by the Zephyrian Collective, they employed. Every civilized species in the cosmos prohibited the use of plasma bombs, which did more than just kill people. They caused the entire atmosphere to catch fire, killing all life on Earth. What's worse is that it took 3 days before the communications eventually stopped. There were 3 days of yelling radio messages from the surface. Jake wished he hadn't listened to some of the tapes. A mother. A man pleading with someone to save his wife, children sobbing for their lives, a woman pleading for assistance as she cradled her burning children. Admiral Lisa Kane, whose parents had already passed away, entered the bridge. She was a tall, icy woman with gray hair. Blue eyes. She had spent 2 decades battling extraterrestrial foes, but Jake had never seen her looking so irate. She was holding a tablet that read, "The Galactic Council." She continued, "I want to talk." Her voice was low but menacing, and Jake moved away from the window. They claimed to be worried, but what do they want from peace talks? On their desire to act as a mediator between us and the Zirians, Jake felt. His fists are meditating. Where were they when Terranova was on fire? When children were dying, they expressed concern and claimed they wanted to stop more violence. Lisa said they were worried that we already regret what Jake said, so we might do something we'll regret. Regret putting your faith in them to maintain harmony. Lisa turned on the communication system. Chancellor Vexthera of the Vortheri was among the holograms of extraterrestrial beings on the bridge. Beside her was General Click of the Cracks, a big, 4-armed beetle that glistened in the light like a living crystal. Admiral Kane, the Nebulan representative, was merely a cloud of gas wearing a confinement suit with compound eyes. "We really regret what happened to your colony, the Zaffron," said Chancellor Vexthera in a voice that sounded like wind chimes. Lisa's voice was icy, and the attack was a horrible tragedy. Tragedies include earthquakes and hurricanes. Terranova's fate was murder, Admiral. We can appreciate your rage, but General Click's jaws clicked together. Retaliation will only result in additional deaths, so let's assist in setting up negotiations with the Zahirians. Lisa looked at the alien for a long time, but there must be some way to come to an agreement. "Tell me, General, how many of your about 40 individuals reside in your home globe?" and the bug appeared perplexed. "I'm just curious, Lisa," responded the Chancellor. "Why do you ask?" "How many Vortheri practically call your crystal cities home, Vexthera?" "Admiral, what is the connection between peace talks and the 60 billion people on all of our planets?" Lisa grinned, but it felt cold. "I want you to keep those numbers in mind. Imagine 40 billion cracks when you close your eyes tonight. Imagine 60. Think about all the families, kids, and hopes that those billions symbolize." The aliens glanced anxiously at one another. Lisa went on, "I want you to consider that figure down to 0. I want you to see your worlds as lifeless and dark as Terranova's at the moment. I would like you to picture the quiet in which Admiral the Nebulan representative used to speak. You can't be threatening genocide, through its translation, can you?" "I'm not. I'm going to describe what occurs next, Lisa, without threatening anything. You held emergency meetings and gave speeches expressing your concern as you witnessed the Zaprans massacre 12 million people. You established committees to investigate the matter, but you failed to stop them. Jake, you saved no lives." He could see anxiety in the alien's eyes as he watched them move uneasily. Lisa stated, the time for mediation was before Terra Nova burned. Was when you had the opportunity to stop this, but you chose not to, therefore now we're taking action. Chancellor Vexter Thurs. The crystal body sparkled in a variety of hues. Are you suggesting that there won't be any peace talks? There will be justice despite the lack of discussions, committees, meetings, or diplomatic solutions. General Click. Buzzed, you can't fight the entire galaxy, Lisa remarked, just watch us, Dr. Ryan. Fletcher, a slender man with gentle eyes, came onto the bridge with a sealed container, but after years of studying alien biology, Jake realized he was among the most intelligent people on the planet. His research was intended to assist human physicians in treating patients from other planets, but now it would serve a crucial. Dr. Lisa said, please tell our friends what you've discovered. Ryan answered, different purpose. Retrieved multiple vials of various colored liquids from his luggage. Each extraterrestrial species has distinct biological indicators, protein structures, DNA sequences, and chemical reactions that sustain them. For certain species, what is effective can be lethal poison. The aliens on the hologram stepped. Ryan went on, for example, the Zephyrian respiratory system is. They are unable to breathe because they are extremely sensitive to specific airborne chemicals. A few parts per million of the appropriate chemical. You're referring about biological warfare in the Nebulan, when their lungs fill with fluid and they drown in their own blood. Every civilized species forbids that, Jake replied quietly, so were plasma bombs. Lisa turned off the communication system, but that didn't stop the Zephyrians from abusing our kids. How long did Lisa ask? The alien holograms vanished, leaving only people on the bridge. Ryan responded, the first batch will be available in 2 weeks. After that, we can manufacture enough to go after any species we desire, Lieutenant Commander Amy Sullivan. The best tactical officer in the fleet, Admiral, who was young but intelligent, stepped forward. Deployment tactics. By the time they recognize what's occurring, we can hit several targets at once. Lisa nodded, good Jake, how many ships can we have? It'll be too late to stop us. 200 combat ships and 50 support ships are prepared for Operation Crimson Dawn, Jake. But, excluding the new weaponry that Dr. Fletcher is creating, it won't be. Amy replied it would be plenty to battle the entire galaxy, but Lisa moved to the window and stated it would be just to convey a message. Stared down at the dead surface of the Terra Nova. The galaxy disregarded our cries for assistance. They did nothing while seeing our people burn because they believe that people are weak and that we will forget and forgive her. Turned back to her officers, pleading with them to understand the consequences of harming Earth's children. Peace came too late, but justice will be served. Instead, Jake gazed at the skies. Families of aliens were resting soundly in their beds out there, unaware that humanity had made their fate. The galaxy would discover that certain injuries never go away, and certain offenses require. Terra Nova would receive retribution in blood, and the cosmos would recall what transpired when someone killed. They would either remember humanity's innocence or join them in the shadows. 6 months after humanity started their retaliatory assault against the stars, the Galactic Council convened in their large chamber on Harmony Prime, a neutral station, but today there was no harmony, and fear permeated the air like toxic gas. The crystal body of Chancellor Vexather glowed with anxiety as she appeared in front of the gathered alien leaders, and as she said, the humans have destroyed 17 Zapiranian. All 17 of the world's planets are targeted by the military, not only cities and agriculture. Nothing exists on those worlds, schools, hospitals, etc., but General Click's compound eyes and forearms were waving wildly now. Shown a level of fear that was unprecedented for his kind. They no longer only murder Zephyrians. Last week, they destroyed every Craigslist and assaulted our shipping channels. They could discover hundreds of ships and thousands of my people dead on a commerce vessel. Inside its containment suit, the gas form that represented the nebulan swirled. Broadcast the fatalities via our communication networks so that everyone may hear the yelling. What type of? Even by his species standards, Ambassador Trell of the Hegemony was elderly when he spoke from his floating chair. Long-lived norms. Over the course of his 300 years, he witnessed numerous conflicts, but humans are employing weapons that have never been seen before, such as biological agents that target certain DNA patterns have the power to eradicate one